Retrofit America. I thought this guy was going to talk about, the green economy, the green economy, George Jetson, Buck Rogers, space-age technology. I want to hear about the green economy, man. Aren't we going to have people in jetpacks putting solar panels on satellites and then beaming the sun's rays down to the thing and, don't burn up the city, but do it right in the thing and don't miss, and then you power the thing? No.
That's good.
That's not what we're talking about when we talk about the green economy. The piece of high-tech, amazing scientific equipment that will define the first wave of the green economy is a caulk gun, all right? A caulk gun. That's what we're talking about. We've got existing off-the-shelf technology and an idle workforce. It may be very hard, many of you, to build all the things that you want to build in this environment. We may not be able to build everything we want to. We may not be able to build anything, depending on how the thing goes. But we can rebuild everything. And you have the knowledge. You have the insight. You have the wisdom to take the biggest bite out of carbon, in terms of bringing carbon down, and to fuel the job creation that we need. People like yourselves who understand green building, who understand how the built environment can actually conserve water, conserve energy, keep pollution and poison out of our children's bodies, and create jobs, are going to be key to understanding how it is we unlock the value that right now is trapped in the old buildings. There's value trapped in the old buildings. The value comes from the cost savings that we'd be able to generate if we could get them to waste less energy. Why is that such a breakthrough? President-elect Obama has said he wants to weatherize 1 million homes a year. I think you should put a zero behind that. But let me tell you why this is so critical in terms of helping us to fly, reviving the U.S. economy, and making sure we don't burn through our natural resources and cook the planet. I'm going to tell you what the punchline is. The punchline is all of this pays for itself. Okay? Let me tell you what you get with the Retrofit America agenda. First of all, you get to put a lot of people to work. Okay? Everything that's good for the environment, everything that's good for to beat global warming, is a job. Okay? Solar panels don't manufacture themselves. Wind turbines don't manufacture themselves. Homes and buildings don't weatherize and retrofit themselves. In our industrial society, trees don't even plant themselves. Okay? Trees that fix carbon and help clean the air, even planting trees and taking care of them is a job. So everything that we're talking about when we talk about retrofitting America creates jobs. Blowing in clean, non-toxic insulation, double painting glass. These are entrepreneurial opportunities, they're job opportunities, they're opportunities for contract. Double painting glass, they don't leak so much energy. Because as you know, when that paint is rattling there in the glass, leaking energy, it's making cold people. Right? A chilly, drafty home makes for cold people, but it makes for a hot and overheated planet because those power plants have to work overtime, kicking up more and more carbon, trying to heat and cool inefficient buildings. Well, if you go in there and you double pane that glass, you replace those doors, you break out the caulk gun, you take out that 20, 30-year-old inefficient boiler, put in an efficient boiler, and maybe slap a solar panel on it when you're done. You just brought jobs up, you brought energy costs down, you brought global warming gases down, you probably, now you don't have to run your peaker plants, you probably brought air quality up, which means you brought asthma down, you brought home values up, and it gets better. If you weatherize and energy retrofit enough buildings, you bring down aggregate demand for energy, which brings down all prices for energy. So even if you didn't get your home weatherized, If enough of them get weatherized, energy costs come down anyway. And, according to McKinsey, it pays for itself. This work pays for itself in 2 to 4 years, according to McKinsey. Now, that is a tremendous opportunity to sell your expertise, your knowledge, your understanding, not only in building new stuff, but in rebuilding the old stuff. The challenge is to get the upfront capital to pay for all the work. So we're proposing a clean energy core. At the center of that proposal is a revolving loan fund. Simple as that. Let the government put a big pot of money on the table, tell cities, universities, hospitals, grab this big pot of money, retrofit your buildings, help retrofit homes, put people to work, cut carbon, and then pay it back out of pay those green grants back out of your energy cost savings. If you do that, you can recycle those dollars. And you can do city after city after city, and it can be revenue neutral, right? You can actually get all this work started, get all that value without breaking the bank. Now, this agenda, retrofitting America, rebuilding our built environment so that it is better for the earth, can also help revive the economy. Center for American Progress says you spend a measly $100 billion on this. Right? Again, this used to sound like a lot of money. You spend a measly $100 billion on this. And not just the retrofits, but also renewable energy. You get 2 million jobs in the next 2 years. Enough jobs to power our way through the recession. You say, well, 2 million jobs, is that a lot of jobs? I don't know, is that a lot of jobs? Well, let's look at Detroit. We've got to try to bail out Detroit. Talk about that later if you want to. There's about 150,000 jobs there. Throw in the multiple, it's about 2 million. So we're about to throw $50 billion at Detroit to save 2 million jobs. And they're going to come back in 6 months and ask for another $50 billion. So we'll spend $100 billion on Detroit to postpone the inevitable. And at some point, because people are not going to buy the stuff that they're building, that will be gone. And we'll spend literally $100 billion to lose 2 million jobs. Or we can spend $100 billion to create 2 million jobs in the other direction. I mean, these are the kinds of choices that we have to make as a country. But when you look at the numbers, and you look at what the possibilities are, I would say, let's put Detroit back to work, not making SUVs slightly more efficient, which will destroy the earth, put them back to work making wind turbines and solar panels that will save the earth. How about that as an agenda? Let that be the goal.
Is your camera picking up the pictures? Is it capturing it?
The last thing I'm going to point out is something that sounds even more boring than retrofitting America. Hard to imagine. But this is a big breakthrough. This is the thing that's going to change what you build and how what you build gets power. It's going to change America's relationship to the rest of the world, and it's going to change our relationship to the rest of the earth. And that is a clean energy grid, a smart grid. In 10 years, if we do this right, every home in America can have a smart two-way meter, that lets everybody be an energy producer as well as an energy consumer. You put a solar panel on your house, you put a wind turbine in your backyard, and you can sell energy into the grid as well as buy energy off of the grid. That is the #1 breakthrough. Why? Because we have a Saudi Arabia of solar energy, a Saudi Arabia of wind energy. The problem is you haven't connected that clean energy power center, those clean energy power centers, to the population centers. But the minute you do that, you can plug in your car and run it on Sunday. Think about that. The idea that you could have a smart grid, the idea that clean energy made anywhere in the country, could get anywhere in the country, is the revolutionary breakthrough idea. That is where all of our R&D efforts need to go. Now, you can't do that today.